What if I told you that failure is the best thing that could happen to you? I know because it was for me. So I'm going to share with you a story of mine that happened back in 2022. It was when I had my baccalaureate exam. So in my country we have an exam, a baccalaureate exam that we pass. I don't know about other countries, but in my country we have this baccalaureate exam that we pass once we reach 18, and this exam can literally decide the fate of your academic studies, or where you're going to end up, which passion you're going to pursue, which career you're going to have, because they take the grade that you have and accept you to universities based on that grade. So in this exam we have two sessions. We have the normal session and the second session. We call it rattrapage in French. So the second session. And in the second session you pass it if you screwed up the first. And let me just say that in the first session I screwed up so bad that I was thinking to retake the whole year, to repeat the year so I can just save myself. Because in this first session I passed all the exam. My performance was so bad that I literally thought about retaking the whole year. And I remember this clearly. After taking the exam of the first session, I came back home and I told my dad I did bad in the exam. And he sat with me. He sat with me man to man. We sat together and there was nobody else. It was just me and my dad. And he told me, do you want to retake the whole year? Or do you have the mental strength to take your second chance? Because we have the second chance. And let me add this one other detail. The second chance, or the second session that we have, is 1 month apart from the first session. So it was a hard decision. And I remember looking him in the eye and telling him that I'm going to take my chances. And in that month, I've gone through hell, because I locked myself in my room and studied day and night. I literally forgot how to talk to people of, because of how much time I spent alone. The whole month was spent alone in my room, and I had to go through a whole year of material in just 1 month so I can save myself. And looking back now to 2022 when this happened, I am so grateful that I took the hard route and that I took the hardest choice. Because if I didn't, I would have had a gap year and I would have wasted a whole year of my life. And now I got into engineering and everything. Everything was so great. I got a great grade because I stuck for myself. I took the hardest choice and I actually stick with it. I put in the efforts and everything. And looking back right now, I am so grateful that I did it. So the moral of this story, and what this story taught me about failure, is the fact that failure is not something that we should fear. And from this point on, from that point, when I failed and I got back up, which was my greatest comeback, I'm going to drag it for my whole life. I'm going even to tell this story to my grandchildren, or to my kids, to my grandkids, or everything, or something, because this story is my proudest moment, and I'm so grateful that I took the hardest choice. And what this taught me about failure is the fact that failure is not something we should fear. And I never feared failure from this point until now. And I learned the hard way that failure is there to ask you one simple question. The thing that you want to achieve, whatever it is, be it fitness, be it business-wise, be it academic-wise, failure will come to you and you will fail. And if you don't, you got lucky, okay. But you will fail. And when you do, failure is there to ask you one simple question. That thing that you want, do you really want it that bad? Or are you just like everybody else, who quits at the first sign of discomfort? And when I was back in 2022, I felt bad after that failure. You can't imagine the thoughts that crossed my mind. I thought that I'm going to be a failure, I'm going to waste a whole year of my life. What did I do? Because if you fail that baccalaureate exam, literally 12 years of your life, 12 years worth of studies are going to will go to waste, because this exam is the most important exam. It's literally your whole studies that you had, your whole 12 years of studies, you're going to pass them in that exam. So it was a not something to be played with, but I made the hardest choice, and I made the right call when I took my chances. So this is why I'm making this video, because I thought this is a great lesson that I should share with you. If you failed, remember that failure is asking you one question, which is, do you want this thing that bad? And take the risk. Always take the risk. Because at the end of the day, if you take the risk, what are you going to fear? Because for me, in that moment, I had two choices: repeating the whole year or taking my chances. If I took my chances and I took that risk, I might have failed. And if I failed, I will go repeat the year anyway. So take your chances, always take the risk. Never be afraid to take risks in your life. Because let's say that you have a job that you don't like and you want to change it, because but there is some risk to it. If you take that risk, you might change your job, and if you fail, you are going to stay in your job anyway. And if you are going to lose that job for another job, if you failed, for example, to get that job that you want, and you lost the job that you didn't like anyway, it's fine. You took the risk. I saw a video the other day about an influencer who goes and asks old people about what was their greatest, about what's the thing that they would change if they lived again. And most of them said that they would take more risks. So don't live like you are going to live forever. Take risks and be bold. Life rewards the bold and the relentless. So be relentless, take risks. And if you fail, remember that failure is asking you one question: do you want it or not? If you don't and you are like everybody else, you're going to quit. But you should remember, when you fail, this is where most people quit. So you should keep going. So take more risks. Don't be afraid of failure. This is my message for you today. And just go and have this thought and live your life like this, and you're going to improve so fast, because nothing is going to stop you anymore. You're going to become fearless. This is how we become fearless. You don't fear failure, because failure is just a test. It's just a phase. How do you think that everybody who got successful didn't fail? They failed. They might have failed more than you tried. So start failing more. It might seem weird, but start failing more. Start taking risks. If you fail, good. Keep going. Don't quit. Most people quit at their first failure. Don't quit. There are people who quit until their 50th failure. There are people who quit until their 10th failure. Be the guy who never quits. Be the guy who's relentless, who chases the thing that he wants and doesn't care about failure. This is what's going to set you apart, because most people quit after failure. Most people quit after failure. Be different. Be better. And this is my message for you today. Just live your life and have this mindset, and you are going to improve so fast. I can't even describe how good your life is going to become, because you won't fear anything anymore, because the only thing stopping people from doing or pursuing their dreams is failure. They are fearing to fail and be judged because they failed. Be fearless, and as always, stay hard.